I learned the valuable lesson of connecting with others when I engaged in my nursery and landscape CDE team. I remember when my ag teachers first asked me to join one of our chapter's career development event teams. I was so excited. As a competitive individual, I always loved a good opportunity to challenge myself. But when I first joined the team, I really only focused on myself. I thought that if I worked hard enough alone, I could accomplish everything that I wanted to, and that I could make a difference by myself. But the longer I spent doing it, the more I learned that the team effort is what truly mattered. And looking back, it was the laughter we shared and the memories we created that I cherish the most. Sure, doing well was great, but it was the late night practices, the inside jokes, and the times we supported each other that made my experience worthwhile. It taught me that it's much more than a competition, and that life is about the friends you make and the memories you create along the way. I like what Tom Ford has to say about this. The most important things in life are the connections you make along the way.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Adriana, Kayla's older sister.
And I'm in the market for a girlfriend.
JT,
how you doing? It's always about Kayla. Fine. I'm JT, Kayla's favorite sibling. While you all know Kayla as the state FFA president, I know her as my loving big sister. Kayla is my biggest role model. She never fails to make an impact to every room she enters, and always leaves your faces smiling when she leaves. Growing up with Kayla, I've seen her change into a person that I look up to now. Now I'll admit, growing up, I wasn't really looking up to Kayla, more like looking out for her and the pranks she'd pull on me. Whether it be me being her butler for a day because I owed her $1,000, or her putting makeup on me because the boogeyman was after me and I needed the disguise. Although Kayla has not given up on her pranks, and everyone that knows her can vouch for me on that, she is the most hardworking and dedicated person I know, and someone we can all strive to be. I love you, Kayla.
All of you know Kayla by now as your state FFA president, but I know her as my goofy, built-in best friend. She lights up a room as soon as she walks in, and she always leaves you with a smile. I'm almost 3 years older than Kayla, so I've had the privilege of watching her grow up, from concerts in the living room to t-ball games, livestock shows, speech contests, to now watching her proudly and gracefully serve these past 2 years as a part of your state officer team. Her confidence and constant positivity keeps her going, as she is a great sister, friend, and role model to others. Kayla is not only an inspiration to others, but she's an inspiration to me. She's a constant reminder to be confident in the goals that I set for myself. Even though her time as your state FFA president is coming to an end, I have no doubt that Kayla will continue to achieve many more great things. And I'm going to proudly, as her big sister, support her. Please join us in welcoming Kayla for her retiring address titled The Table.
Oklahoma FFA members, please welcome our sister and your state FFA president, Kayla Poling.
Filled with the best food. Can you hear the Father calling? There's a seat just for...
One of my favorite objects in my entire house is this table right here. You see, when I think back to my childhood, I can think of so many fond memories made at the table. It's where I blow out all the candles on my birthday cakes. It's where my siblings and I would play card games late into the night. Dinners and gatherings, reading scripture with my family. The table is where marriage proposals happen. It's where we're invited to sit with the cool kids in the school cafeteria if we're lucky enough. You see, the table is a special place in our lives where pivotal things can unfold. But not all memories made at the table are joyous ones. For example, I can think of one too many nights working on math homework with my dad that led to tears of frustration because I just couldn't get algebra. Plenty of hard conversations at the table when I've probably done something that I shouldn't have. It was at this table when I learned my parents were getting divorced. It was across the table from a doctor when I learned I had a very sick loved one. You see, what I'm trying to get at is the table is a place in our lives where things happen. But that's not where my life lesson began. We moved houses when I was in 8th grade, and for whatever reason, my parents decided we needed a new dining room table. So we got rid of the one we had, and I don't remember exactly how long it took for us to get a new one, but I do remember how I felt in its absence. We were a pretty busy family, and the dining room table was one of the few times during the day where we got to sit down together and spend quality family time. With it gone, everything felt just a little bit off. And for meals, we were scattered all throughout the house, from the living room to the dining room to even our own bedrooms. The conversations even shifted. We focused more on our food instead of each other, and we just didn't communicate with each other the way that we used to. This wasn't just about a piece of missing furniture anymore, but missing something much deeper. It was then that I learned that something as small as a table, something we often take for granted, can make all of the difference. It was then that I learned that the small things in life really do matter. You see, this table is so much more than just a piece of furniture or a place where you eat. It's a living, breathing space where we connect. And sometimes it's the quietest, most simple moments that have the greatest impact. I was actually reminded of this not that long ago when my best friend Kayla and I, we took a spontaneous trip to New York City. I was so excited. But being a small town girl from Silo, Oklahoma, my use of public transportation was pretty limited. But what's a trip to the big city without using the subway, right? With it just being Kayla and I, two 19-year-old girls, and hearing all the stories of everything that could happen in New York City, we were paying extra attention to our surroundings, especially on the subway train. And for those of you who've never been on the subway, two things. One, it is not a clean place at all. And two, it is not a fancy means of transportation by any means. But I found my experience just so neat. And it kind of went something like this. I remember we got on and we were looking for somewhere to sit, and I saw a bunch of people in suits headed to work, probably in the financial district. I saw some people headed home from work looking exhausted after a long shift. I saw some homeless. I remember even seeing a mother and her son. He had a scooter. Maybe they were headed to Central Park. I saw a bunch of students in their book bags headed to school. I saw a lady and 3 cats, not sure where she was headed. And then I saw it. I saw 3 exhausted construction workers sitting on the ground eating their dinner from brown paper sacks. When I first saw this, I was really confused. And then I wouldn't eat there. And then I was jealous. I was jealous of their ability to tune out all of this. They were able to make a table right where they were, drowning out the rest of the world and focusing in on each other in that moment. And in that quiet, everyday act of simply sharing a meal, I felt like I had witnessed something sacred. No grand gesture, no fanfare, just 3 people coming together in a simple but powerful way. And the truth is, FFA members, our lives can be just like that subway train, chaotic. Everybody's dressed in different clothing, headed to different places, but the table. The simple act of gathering together, sitting side by side to share a meal, has a quiet power. It's a place where the noise of the world can fade away and we can focus on what truly matters, like the little things and the people around us. In life, we have strayed away from our table. Here's a thought. Why in new construction do homes rarely have dining rooms? Or in new apartments, is there rarely a space for table or chairs? The family table has faded into the background of our lives quite literally, and I think it's a pretty good metaphor for our real lives. Too many times we look at the interactions that we have with the people around us as transactions, wondering what can we get rather than what can we do. Or as FFA members, we're driven, we work hard, and we celebrate our accomplishments, and that's a great thing. But it is so easy to get caught up in the big milestones, the awards, the recognition, that we forget that life is not about those things. Nobody, when looking back on their life, wishes that they had more awards or trophies. What matters is the time we spend with the people we love, the connection we share, and the impact we have on others. It's those everyday moments that shape who we are as a person and how we relate to this beautiful world around us. The quiet conversations, the shared laughter, the way we choose to make people feel, that's what makes this entire human experience worthwhile. I've learned that real connections like that don't happen over a screen. Liking a picture on Instagram or texting on a phone, none of that will ever replace sitting across from someone, looking them straight in the eye, and giving them your full attention. It's in those moments of being present, of truly listening, when the magic happens. The greatest gift you can give someone is the gift of your attention. And when you show up, and you show someone that you care, and you show them that they belong, that's when real change happens. Inclusion is not just about inviting someone to your table, though. It's about making sure that they know they belong. It's about creating a space where people feel valued, heard, and seen. You know, there's been a lot of people in my life that have shown me that they care and shown me that I belong. And most of them are here tonight. Like my mom and my dad, they have never made me question their love for my siblings and I. For that, they will forever be at my table. My big sister Adriana and my little brother JT, they did a pretty good job introducing me. And I'll never forget all the adventures we had growing up, even putting makeup on my brother to hide him from the boogeyman. But they'll forever be at my table. My ag teachers, Mr. and Mrs. Brown, they are my role models and my heroes, and the biggest reason why I'm here tonight. But most importantly, they gave a quiet 8th grade girl a seat at their table without question. They'll forever have an invitation to mine. My team from last year, I will never forget the special time in our lives that we got to share. Becoming state officers together, starting college for the first time, or the times where I ran Garrett over with a gator at alumni leadership camp, or the time I accidentally took Caleb down the wrong slope on ski trip and we ended up on our butts the rest of the way down. I know you guys have some pretty bright futures ahead, but no matter how far you go, I'll always save a seat for you. My team for one more day, oh gosh, that hurts to say. I will always save a seat for Titus, Kason, Grace, Anna Jo, Aubrey, Cooper, Caleb, and even Wes. Teammates for a year, family for life. To my family and my friends in the audience, my grandma, my grandpa, my aunts and my uncles that are here, my cousin Z, my big Kelsey, my college roommate Madison, Lucas, my high school best friend watching on the live, they are all at my table. FFA members, you see, I've had some pretty important people at my table that I definitely don't recognize or think enough. They are why I am here tonight, and they make me who I am. But that leaves me with a question for you. Who has a seat at your table? We've all experienced the unsettling feeling of walking into a lunchroom or event and not knowing where we're gonna sit. It's isolating, it's scary, and it's happened to every single one of us. But the truth is, one of the best feelings in the world is when someone calls you by name, smiles, and says, "Come sit with us." We all have the power to create that moment. But are we? Are we intentionally making room for others, especially those who feel alone, overlooked, or uncertain? In FFA, this might mean inviting a first-year member to join in on the conversation, encouraging someone struggling to step outside of their comfort zone, simply showing kindness to someone who needs it. Maybe you've been that person, unsure of where you belonged until someone pulled up a chair and showed you that you mattered. For instance, Channing of the Kayla FFA chapter. In the 2 years that I have known Channing, she's always making the people around her feel important by simply being a good listener. She shows up to every conversation with a listening ear, making the person interacting with her feel valued. She never did it for recognition. In fact, Channing doesn't even know I'm about to ask her this. But Channing, will you please come have a seat at my table? Hannah Holmes of the Duncan FFA chapter. You're one of the most encouraging gals I know. She always makes me feel like I can chase my dreams, and I know she does that for other people. Hannah, please come have a seat at my table. Reagan of the Antlers FFA chapter. Not only did I have the privilege of watching Reagan in my alumni leadership camp small group, the Wonder Ones, but I had the privilege of watching his thoughtful and compassionate actions, always ready to lend a helping hand or offer a comforting word when someone needed it. For that, Reagan, please come have a seat at my table. Alyssa of the Hayworth FFA chapter and Sweet Lincoln of the Altus FFA chapter, please come have a seat at my table. You guys are some of the most positively kind people I know, spreading joy everywhere you go. You just can't help but smile when you're around them. FFA members, you all have a seat at my table. Everyone deserves a seat. Regardless of your background, your struggles, or your achievements, there is room for everybody at the table. As leaders, it is easy to get caught up in the busyness of what's next. But leadership is so much more than just about action. It's mostly about connection. It's about slowing down, looking up, and making space for the people around you. And that's exactly what each of these members did. Connection is the foundation of leadership. And when we show up for others and make space, we don't just change the people around us, we change the world. As I look back on my FFA career, I realize that I've learned quite a lot these past 7 years. I've learned that the moments I cherish the most are not the events I attended, the awards I won, the titles I achieved, or even the speeches I gave. It was the people I met, the moments of connection I shared. It was in those moments that I learned that that's what it's all about. So I challenge you, make space for the people around you. Make the effort to sit down, look someone straight in the eye, and give them your full attention. I've learned so much from all of you, and I can't wait to see the incredible things you all continue to do. I've learned that in life, it is crucial to have a crowded table. I've learned that the little things matter the most. I've learned that you are what makes this organization so great, and that this retiring address is not about me, but all 29,000 of you. And we need all of you at the table, or the table would not be the same. This organization would not be the same. I wouldn't be the same. So I challenge you, be the person who creates tables where no one is left standing. Build spaces where people feel valued, heard, and seen. So pull up a chair, call someone's name, and always make sure there's room for one more. Because life doesn't happen in a rush. It happens at the table. Life happens at the table.